Welcome to Beating Cancer Daily. Beating stage 4 cancer for 30 years still takes my breath away every time I say it. I'm Saranne, founder of the Comedy Cures Foundation, and I hope you'll join me for just a few minutes daily for the next 365 days so we may laugh, learn, maybe cry a little as we live our best days beating cancer daily together. I'm actually going to start with a joke today because I just feel like it. I feel like laughing. This joke is by Emo Phillips, and it comes from one of my favorite joke books, Joke Stew. I've mentioned it many times. When I just feel like I need a laugh, I go to Judy Brown's book, and a lot of our Comedy Cures comedians have jokes in this book, but this one is by Emo Phillips. I got into a fight one time with a really big guy, and he said, "I'm going to mop the floor with your face." I said, "You'll be sorry." He said, "Oh yeah, why?" I said, "Well, you won't be able to get into the corners very well." That's a visual joke. You have to really picture the visualization of that joke, and it's really actually quite clever. Have you gotten into a fight recently? I find that cancer treatment, like weddings, like Thanksgiving, or any big holiday function, can bring out the worst in people. And I've heard too many stories this week about people getting into fights with people, either because they had cancer, their caregiver got into a fight about somebody about their cancer. It just does really weird things to people. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to do an episode on these silly fights that people get into around cancer treatment. Have you experienced this? I hope you haven't, but the weirdest things happen. And I'm telling you, it's because people don't know what to do with their emotions. Sometimes people have had no experience with cancer, and everybody's just trying to do the right thing. But then you do have those people who are like glory hounds, and they have to make your cancer about them. And that's a lot of times how these fights start, because they have to be the center of attention, even though you're going through cancer treatment. And there can be odd competitions about who can be the most supportive of you, or there could be people who get in a fight with you because they have a vision for how you should go through cancer treatment. You're not doing what they want you to do with your treatment, or the way you're eating, or the way you're working, or the way that you're living your life. So I just want you to know that this can be really common. Now, I hope you have none of this going on, because this is just noise. But a lot of times people just don't know what to do with their fear or their anger or resentment. And so it surfaces as these silly little fights. So I saw this pretty cool article on parade.com, and it was 15 phrases to effectively end any argument according to psychologists. I think we should all put these in our phone, because this is valuable tools, right? For any family, friend, or partnership. What do you think the first one is? Do you give up? I understand where you're coming from. Have you ever said that and you didn't mean it? You just wanted to end an argument. I understand where you're coming from. That tone could really help you end an argument. We all know, let's agree to disagree. This is classic. I've used that many times. Have you? Another one. We're allowed to have different opinions and views. We don't need to argue about it. I love this one. Ready? I appreciate your perspective. That's a good one. It's really easy to remember and it's very clear. This one's actually easier to remember. I hear you. Isn't that what most people just want? To be heard? You have keen insight and great ideas, but now is not a good time to have this discussion. I could really have used that during my cancer journey. There were a lot of opportunities in this massive stage 4 cancer fight that I was waging where that phrase, you have keen insight and great ideas, but now is really not a good time to have this discussion. I like the way it flatters and then you get your point across, which is really, I can't do this right now. And that's a boundary that we all have to have because there are times in the cancer journey where you just can't do anything heavy like this or go deep into big discussions, and you could just kind of shelve it until you feel strong enough to do it. I really appreciate you and what you have to say, but I think we should discuss this at another time. Beautiful. It's another one that deflects and lets you just take a breather and cool off. Can we take a break and revisit this later? That's super simple, but it doesn't kind of flatter the other person or let you appreciate that they are thinking about it and they have thought about it. That one's just a cut to the chase one. Kind of like the other ones that really start off on a positive note. This is another quick one. I think we both need a break to cool down. And these can be used with 2 other people. Like you could not even be in the situation, but you could be watching 2 of your family members fight over you or fight over your treatment. And you could just flip this to them. Like, here's one. I see your point, yet I still feel blank, or I see your point and I really need not to do this right now. You could substitute that one in just to get the distance. This one kind of harkens back to the beginning. We may not agree, and that's okay. That's along the lines of let's agree to disagree. I like it. It's simple. It's clean. It seems like we have been focusing on the problem. Let's focus on finding a solution instead. That's a really clever one. I like that one. It seems like we've been focusing on the problem. Let's focus on finding a solution instead. What I hear you say is, and then you repeat back the other person's position, and then you add, is that correct? What I hear you say is, and then you repeat it back, and then, is that correct? I think that's a good one because it really lets the other person feel heard and validated. And if you're not hearing it right because you're putting your bias on it, they can correct it. Here's a really good one. Ready for this? This is like uber mature. I value our relationship more than being right. Ooh, that's a really good one. I value our relationship more than being right. I love so many of these. And I think we have to have them in our pocket because we can be getting into arguments with people because we have short tempers, short fuses right now with everything that we're going through on the cancer journey. We have so much stress. We have so much stuff we're trying to juggle. So have these in your back pocket in case you act a little bit off, but also in case the people around you are losing it, you can intervene and be the peacemaker. I hope this helps. I wish I had these, honestly, but I'm going to use them now going forward just in my everyday life. They're really special. If you have a good phrase that you love to say, go to comedycures.org and let me hear it. You can say it right on our record feature or write it to me, and I'll write it down and keep it in my phone for when I need to be the ultimate diplomat peacemaker. Have a blessed day, and I'll see you tomorrow. You know, everybody always asks, what would be a great gift to give somebody newly diagnosed with cancer or re-diagnosed with cancer or just going through cancer for a really long time? And that's one of the reasons why I created the Beating Cancer Daily membership circle, so that I would have a gift to give every time I find out that someone's been diagnosed. So if you haven't already joined for yourself, please go to comedycures.org and check out the Beating Cancer Daily membership circle levels. And if you need a great gift, what an unbelievable opportunity. It starts for as little as $5 per month. The levels change and go up from there. You can even buy a mega gift for somebody. And all of these levels support not only making this podcast, but support the membership circle opportunities, which include so many resources, including live virtual Q&A sessions, live Comedy Cures comedy events, live health builder workshops with Jackie Bryan, RN, and myself, a robust monthly newsletter, plus much more. So if you do want to give yourself a gift or you want to share that with someone you love, please go to comedycures.org and explore the membership levels. Thanks so much. See you tomorrow. Guess what time it is? It's time for me to read the disclaimer. Beating Cancer Daily and the membership circle are not in lieu of medical advice or treatment. They are for entertainment purposes only. Please consult your healthcare team to review your best strategy. Thanks for listening.